Minasan and konnichiwa. Today is another day where I teach another kanji. If you are familiar with my show, you know how I do this, but if for those of you who may be new, basically what I do is I teach Japanese kanji symbols through a different kind of story, using the radicals in the kanji to break that kanji down and hopefully help you remember that kanji. With that, let's talk about this symbols here. And this is one of the 4 cardinal directions, meaning west. So we have north, south, east, and west. This symbol has probably the most readings, which is why I've saved it for last out of all of the cardinal directions, which usually only have 2. This has 3 on readings and then 1 kun reading. So this has the largest amount of readings. However, I do find it somewhat easy to memorize as the sounds are fairly similar whatever you do. You have sei and sai, and then not as often su. Sei is probably going to be the most common use or reading for this, and if not, you could probably jump to sei if needs be. But what are the quick differences between the onyomi and the kunyomi? The biggest difference here is that the onyomi is what's mostly used when kanji are used in conjunction as a compound word, while the kunyomi is usually how the word is read by itself. Let's talk about the etymology, though. This is the main part of this show where I try to break down the different parts of the story. So right down here, we have a mouth, and then we have some legs, and then on the top, we even have the symbol for 1, or also seen as a rod. Now, while some people may argue that this symbol in of itself is a radical and should only be translated or seen as a symbol by itself, I tried to create stories out of the parts that are actually there. And if you were to look at this part, there are, from this very straightforward symbol, 3 distinct parts. Now, the story I came up with is useful, I think, to me, but if you have a different story or a way that you use to memorize this, please leave it down in the show notes and we'll be sure to see how you memorize a story. The more we get from these and the more comments that we have, the more ways that people can actually help remember this particular symbol. So the first part to see is the mouth and the legs. I see this, okay? I think of this story. Someone is extremely hungry and there's no food in the area. So what they have to do is take up their very, very few possessions in hopes of getting 1 meal and go west. So I imagine this very decrepit looking old man who's extremely hungry and wants to be able to go and get some food, but he has little anymore, and so he gets on his legs and he walks away and he walks west, where hopefully there's some hope where he could get some food in this post-apocalyptic world. And though that's kind of silly, it's one of these silly stories that actually help you memorize, and the more ridiculous sometimes the better. With that, let's talk about some basic words. The first one is seiyo. Seiyo is Western, as in Western thought, Western thinking, or simply the West. As it's funny how we apply it to the world East and West, but if you look at the maps from the Japanese perspective, you could say either one's either because, we're in a sphere. Then we also have the area Kansai. 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 The Kansai area is the area just south of Chubu in the Osaka, Kyoto, and Kobe areas, where they have a very distinct accent, as well as being some of the most friendly people in the entire country. Then last, we have the normal way to refer to west, which is Nishi. Nishi no ho. Nishi. Nishi is west. With that, though, I will sign off. Thank you so much for joining me into here today. And remember to make some mistakes. If you'd like to follow more videos, make sure to share and subscribe this video and click on the videos on the left and right to be able to view more and learn more kanji. With that, I will sign off and I'll see you tomorrow. But remember, after 10,000 mistakes, you become fluent. So let's make mistakes. Ja ne.